Evening, folks. We have a tornado warning that has been issued for those of you to the north here, up around Sparta and towards the Crossville area. So let me take off this special weather statement. We have a tornado warning that's in effect for the areas you see outlined in red. This is for parts of White County, Cumberland County, and Putnam County. This tornado warning goes into effect for the next hour. It's for a severe thunderstorm that's capable of producing a tornado located near Sparta, and the movement on that is northeast at 35 miles an hour. So it's for this storm you see right here in the vicinity of Doyle and Sparta, where 70 South and 111 come together as it moves into the town of Sparta and also Bon Air Mountain. So these areas need to be seeking shelter here. So if you're anywhere in the city of Sparta, east to Bon Air, up to Pleasant Hill, Malin, Bowman, Rennie, up to Monterey, you need to be taking your tornado precautions right now. Now, I want to stress this does not include Cookeville or TTU. So, if you know anybody at Tennessee Tech, this does not include you, even though sirens may be going off up there. Also, the city of Crossville, you're not in this. So, this is staying to the west of Crossville, south and east of Cookeville. This is mainly from Sparta, Monterey, over to Bowman and Pleasant Hill. This is the main zone you see right in here. So, if you know somebody that's up here in parts of White, Putnam, and Cumberland counties, tag them, share this to them, make sure that they are seeking shelter here, as these areas in red are now under a tornado warning. And let me get you the expiration date on that. That goes in effect until 5/15. So let's investigate this and show you velocity and all that. It's not a very strong circulation, but there is enough right in here where this red and green meet to where Doppler radar is showing the possibility of a quick spin up tornado. And again, it fired up very fast here, so that's why this has popped up here at such a moment's notice here. But again, if you're anywhere up here along Highway 70 east of 111 in White County, you need to be taking your tornado precautions and waiting this thing out. Now, this will also include the Pleasant Hill area of western Cumberland County. So those of you there need to be on guard here as well over the next little bit. So again, that's the situation there at this time. So let me see here. Not sure why it's not connecting on my Facebook here. Let me check and see what the deal is. Just noticing that. Sorry about that, guys, on the YouTube side. I got to get this figured out on my Facebook end real fast. A little bit of bad connection here. So you're going to see some funky things on the YouTube side here in just a second as I try to get this coordinated. It's not letting me. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, I'm going to have to reload this. Hold on a second. You're going to kind of see some behind the scenes stuff here in just a second. As I get this loaded up. I don't know why I didn't broadcast that, but okay. Let me get this Facebook here set up real fast. It'll take me just a minute. Yeah, looks like there might be like a technical error here. Okay, so let's go here. I can set this up. Again, for those of you in Cumberland and White counties, as I get this all, try to work this all out here, we do have a tornado warning in effect for your area here through the next 45 minutes. Again, I apologize for the inconvenience for any of those of you watching on the YouTube side, but I'm having to do this here because on the fly, because my Facebook crashed there for a little bit. Should start working here momentarily, so I'm getting this set up and we're good. Good deal. Alrighty, so for those of you now tuning in on the Facebook side, just tune in. We have a tornado warning for parts of Cumberland, White, and Putnam counties. This goes in effect until 5:15. This is for a Doppler radar indicated rotation that could produce a tornado at any time. Um, at the moment, it's not a very strong rotation, but if you are anywhere in the Sparta and Bon Air mountain areas, you do need to be seeking shelter. So this is the point that I'm seeing here. Let's check debris and make sure this is not anything significant. Again, I was just broadcasting this live on YouTube, and then I was trying to go live on Facebook here about 10 minutes ago, and it crashed, but I got it back up now. So here's the situation. So those of you from Yankeetown over towards Ravenscroft, Pleasant Hill, basically west of Crossville and south and east of Cookeville, you need to be taking your tornado safe spot at this time. And if you know somebody that lives in these areas, so if you know somebody that lives in Monterey, you know somebody that lives in Sparta, you know somebody that lives in Pleasant Hill, make sure they are aware of this and seeking shelter until this passes. And I do want to stress here, for those of you that are in the city of Crossville, you're not involved in this. This is staying to your west and northwest and southwest. If you're at Tennessee Tech and Cookeville, this is not affecting you. This is staying to the south and east of you. Again, this is the only area at this time that has any impact of any kind of possible tornado or anything like that. Again, this is not affecting anybody else. It's affecting only the areas you see outlined in this red polygon. So, again, as I say, if you know somebody, feel free to tag them. I do have that option open in the comments for that, and share this to them so that way we can spread the word on this. So, again, this is for this little circulation that you see right in here, right around Sparta. Again, it's not very strong, but it's enough to where the Weather Service feels that there's enough evidence to see some rotation. Not seeing anything at the moment on the debris tracker, thankfully. Nothing really strong on the normalized rotation. Again, when you have some weak rotation, it's best to just be cautious and just go ahead and take cover. But here's the track I'm going to put on this. This is northeast at about 35 miles an hour, so we're going to track that from there and share with you where that's going. This will be in the Monterey area about 5:02. So if you're in that area, seek shelter. Again, Bon Air, this will be in your area in about the next 5 minutes. Same with DeRosset and Ravenscroft. Yankeetown within the next 5 minutes as well. And then this is going to pass pretty close to Pleasant Hill on the western end of Cumberland County as well as Mayland. But it looks like it's going to pass just west of those areas. But if you are in those two communities around Mayland and Pleasant Hill, west of Crossville, you do need to be seeking shelter. Again, this will be passing near Mineral Springs east of Monterey at around 5:06 as well. So that's kind of the track and kind of the motion on where this thing's going. Again, here's a no travel advisory here. Do not travel I-40 between Monterey and Crossville right now. If you know somebody that's out there, tell them to pull over, either get into a ditch or find the nearest exit and just pull off and wait this out. We don't need anybody out there on the road, considering that we have a tornado warning in effect for these areas. Now, I do want to give one all clear for those of you in Doyle. If you're watching from Doyle, there southwest of Sparta, this is not an issue for you anymore. So if you're west of Highway 111, you're clear from this. East of Highway 111 is where the danger zone is at the moment. Now, we don't have a confirmed tornado on the ground here. I do want to stress that point. We don't have one on the ground. I've not heard of any confirmation as of the last few minutes, but there is enough evidence of at least some weak rotation to where there's enough to warrant some concern here. So this is passing basically between State Route 84 and also Highway 70, so it's passing right in the middle of those two. Some of the other roads that are involved include the Calfkiller Brewing Company, the Calfkiller River area, and also moving up here towards Blue Springs Road, and some of the other communities here like Ravenscroft. This is also passing close to Pleasure Lake, and some of the other roads include Moonlight Trail, Timber Trail. Again, this is in eastern White County, Tennessee, east of Sparta. This is about an hour and a half north of Chattanooga, about 2 hours west of Knoxville. Here as the crow flies here for those that may be new, that may not have heard of this area before. But again, those of you basically from downtown Sparta, points east and northeast over towards Yankeetown, up Highway 84 into southeastern Putnam County, including Bon Air Mountain over towards Ravenscroft, you do need to be in the basement on the lowest floor near the center away from windows. If you don't have a basement, get into an interior closet or bathroom or hallway that's on the lowest level, away from those windows and outside walls. Anything, and if you need, and also make sure you bring a helmet with you, so that way you can protect your head and anything that can help protect your body from possible flying debris. Now, I do want to also point out that this does also include other places in Cumberland County. This includes the Bowman area up towards Rennie, the Plateau community, and also west into the Mayland area, as I said a little bit ago. Areas of Putnam County in this would be Glade Creek, Dug Hill, up towards Monterey and Pinhook. Those are some of the other areas also involved in this, as well as Pleasant Hill in the western end of the county. Again, as I said, if you're in Crossville, this is not going to impact you. This is going to stay to your west. You don't have to worry about this there. Lake Tansey, you have nothing to worry about. Fairfield Glade, you're good. Same with Crab Orchard. This is staying to y'all's west. And I will go ahead and give an all clear for you folks in the city of Sparta now, since this is moving to your east and fairly quickly here. It's moving on top of Bon Air Mountain now. So if you're down there in the valley there in Sparta, you are good. So downtown points west, you're good to go. It's the danger zone. The danger area is now moved off to your east, so you can come out of your shelters there in the city limits of Sparta. But again, Bon Air Mountain, give it about 10 more minutes and you'll be able to come out. So about 10, 15 more minutes. Again, this tornado warning goes into effect until 5:15 today. Now, I do want to point out, as I do an overview here, this tornadic warned storm up by the I-40 corridor is the only one we have in effect in the entire area. We got a little bit of rain here moving across Bledsoe, Ray, Hamilton, Sequatchie counties, but this is nothing here. Again, we only got one storm that we're working here, and it's this one right here between Sparta and Crossville, basically, moving to the north and northeast. So once this gets north of I-40, it'll be out of our area here completely. But at the moment here, that is the only area that's experiencing severe weather at this time. For the rest of you that are watching this from other locations, you have nothing to worry about. If you have any evening plans or anything like that and you're not in this tornado warning, you are good to go on with your plans, because I really don't see anything going on for the rest of this evening here for most of us, other than maybe a rain shower or two. But at the moment, the reason why I'm on here is for this one tornado warning that includes those of you in White County and Cumberland County. I know I got a few of you that watch me up here. So, and also I have family that live up here. My mom, my sister, and cousin all live up in this area. So hopefully those folks are staying safe. But thankfully most of them are out of the polygon up towards Cookeville. But down here to the south, around Sparta and points north, east from there to Monterey, east to as far east there as Pleasant Hill, Bowman, and Mayland. Stay sheltered over here to the east, especially east of Sparta. Now, if you're out here towards Smithville or McMinnville or Spencer, this is well north and east of you. You don't have anything to worry about there. And if you're not in it, and if you're in an area that's not involved in this tornado warning, you have nothing to worry about either. Now, let's do a quick velocity check. As I said, it's not really impressive. That's the good thing. It's very weak. It would not surprise me a bit to see this get lifted early. And I'll tell you why they likely issued this warning, and I can go back and loop it here. You see, it formed pretty quickly. So right around Quebec and Doyle there near the Van Buren County line is where this rotation formed between about 4:10 and 4:16. So this was about 25 minutes ago, and it formed really fast. So you could see how it intensified as it moved over the Doyle area and moved up towards where 111 and 70 South come together. And that was when the warning was issued right there as it moved off to the north and east. So that's where this warning originated from. And ever since that point, as you see, it is really broadened out. So I think this warning is going to probably get canceled here pretty soon, considering how fast that this is weakened. I mean, it's pretty weak at this point. So, but again, as long as this tornado warning is still in effect for however long it will be, I mean, technically 5:15. So up until that point, if you're in this polygon here, except Sparta, because I've given you the all clear, if you live anywhere from Bon Air Mountain, points east, Pleasant Hill, and north, up towards Mayland, Rennie, Bowman, Monterey area, make sure you're taking your tornado precautions and putting those into use here until this passes and until this warning expires or is canceled. But again, at the moment, I'm not seeing anything that really pans out to me as far as anything impressive on rotation, and checking debris to make sure we don't have anything big there, and So far, not seeing anything there either. So some great news there on that end. But again, um, the good thing here is as far as areas to the west of this, Smithville points south and west, you're good. McMinnville, you're good. Also Cookeville, this is not affecting you. So for anybody that's watching from those areas, you don't have anything to worry about there. So again, this is the only storm. I'm going to point this out again. This is the only storm that we have in the entire area. This is on the far northern edge of this area that the coverage area here that I cover here. So this is up in the very far north up towards I-40. So again, that's going to be the zone there where this thunderstorm is passing over, and there's really not much lightning with it, and that's a good sign with this is that the lightning has really fallen off of this, which is a good sign because that shows that the thunderstorm is showing signs of weakening here. So we're continuing to see good progress here of this thunderstorm as it moves from southwest to northeast here across this area, pretty much where Putnam, White, and Cumberland counties all come together right in here between Highway 84 and Highway 70 and areas south, just to the south of Interstate 40, but this is getting ready to cross I-40. So as I said, if you know anybody that happens to be traveling along any of the highways here, like Interstate 40, Highway 62, or any of the other major roads in here that run between Monterey and Crossville, tell them not to do it. If they're getting ready to travel out to that area, tell them not to do it right now. If you know somebody that, as again, I say, if you know somebody that's traveling in that area right now, make sure they pull off somewhere, like off the side of the road, if they need to get into a ditch or something. Temporary ride us out. Lie flat if you have to, or if there's an exit nearby up in here, just make sure that they find a gas station, a restaurant, a convenience store, something that will offer some temporary shelter. And wait this out. And again, the warning runs until 5:15. So again, 20, 30 minutes, roughly. Not a lot of time, thankfully, as far as, having to wait it out is concerned. But again, let's just wait this thing out and stay safe here in these areas until it passes. Now, I got a new warning update on this, so let's see if we got anything as far as damage is concerned, or let's see what the warning update says. No damage or anything, but at 4:41, a severe thunderstorm that's capable of producing a tornado was located 8 miles northeast of Sparta, moving northeast at 35 miles an hour. Hazard to tornado, it's radar indicated. So not confirmation, but radar indicated, which means there's a little bit of rotation aloft. This dangerous storm will be near Monterey around 4:55. Other locations that are in the path of this include Pleasant Hill. So this is going to be, even though I'll be honest with you, Pleasant Hill's probably going to miss this because this is going to stay probably just west just based off this radar. Look, again, remember the storm's moving north-northeast. So I believe that you folks in Pleasant Hill, even though you're still in this warning, I do think that you guys are in good shape because this is trending almost due north-northeast. But again, if you're in Mayland, up there in the northwestern tip of Cumberland County, you do need to be taking your tornado precautions right now if you haven't done so. Just wait this out. Even though it's trended weaker, you still got to err on the side of caution here just in case it were to ramp back up again. So make sure you're sheltered there. Also up in the Bowman area along Highway 127 up towards Rennie and the Fentress County line. It's going to be heading up towards you in the Highway 62 corridor next after it crosses I-40 if it can hold together. So that's the direction this is heading. And again, I'll pan out again to show you the rest of the area real quick, just in case you may be tuning in. We got nothing else going on. The rest of the whole tri-state area is good. We got a little bit of rain here and there, maybe a little bit of drizzle, but nothing going on for the rest of us. The only area of concern, and really the only storm anywhere locally, is this one right up here with that tornado warning, where Putnam, White, and Cumberland all come together. And that's slowly but surely advancing to the north and east. So let's do a quick velocity update on this. And again, as I said, nothing really sticking out to me on this, at least on the rotation side. That's a good thing, very weak. And how you look for rotation on velocity here, a little quick lesson here. You look for red and green to be very close to each other. So we got a little bit of that right in here, as you see. But you notice the colors are not very bright. So that means the wind is not really all that strong in it. So that's a good sign to know. And it's still fairly broad as well. So it's weak, it's also broad. but there's just enough of red and green to kind of monitor it just to make sure it doesn't, re-intensify. But at the moment, it's weak as far as a rotating thunderstorm is concerned. So you can kind of see where the red is going away and the green's moving toward in this area. So this is just north of Highway 70, so north of Dorosset, north of Ravenscroft. And it's moving into the mountainous and rural areas of far southeastern Putnam County. Again, not affecting Cookeville, not affecting Baxter. This is east of y'all. Also, western Cumberland County around Mayland, not affecting Crossville. You're good down there. You're good down there by Bucky's. You're good down there by Lake Tansy and all those other parts of Cumberland County to the south and east. You're good there. This is the spot right here, as I'll circle it, is what is being watched. And again, not very strong, but the Weather Service out of precaution is keeping this tornado warning up just to make sure it doesn't try to recycle again as it moves off to the north and east. So I'll put a direction on that, and you can kind of, it's a bad arrow there, so let me redraw that. That's the direction it's going, approximately. And again, as I put that on a loop, you can kind of see it's sort of following that arrow right there in a nutshell right there. So there it goes. So it says pretty much going to ride up right along the Putnam, White, Cumberland County lines here as it moves towards Interstate 40 and also Highway 70 north. And there's also a lot of homes out in here as well. There's quite a few homes out in this area too that are in the path. So if you know anybody in these all these homes out in here to the west of, at least near Mayland and to the west, make sure that they are seeking shelter as well until this passes. And again, so it's mostly a rural area up here. I've been up and through here many times because I used to live in the Cookeville area for about 5 years and traveled through here every now and then. There's a lot of homes. Population's not as dense, but there are a lot of homes out in here and stuff. So that's why it's very important here to make sure that everybody is aware, everybody's safe, and everything else, because there are people that live here and need to be aware of this. Now, it does appear, as far as Monterey is concerned, Monterey's up here at the very top of the screen here. This does look like it's going to pass just south of town. It's going to be pretty close to where the plant is out there on the southeast side of town, but up around Monterey downtown, it looks like the worst of this is going to pass just to your south. So at least in downtown Monterey and north, I think you're good. But if you're on the southeast side of town, basically from the high school south and east, there down I-40 especially, and east along 62, that's going to be the zone where this potential tornado is going to go. Now, as said, we don't have confirmation of one, so there's not one on the ground at the moment. Again, it's a weakening storm, but again, it could easily re-intensify again, which is why this warning is still in effect, because again, it's just worth being precautious just to make sure that it doesn't flare up again. And again, no major change. It did, speaking of cycling, it did flare back up again just a little bit on that last scan. So as I said, these storms sometimes will cycle. They'll go through a cycle where they weaken and then they may re-intensify again and basically repeat it. So that's why the warning is still holding on here. And so right now it's in the far southeast tip of Putnam County around Glade Creek, according to Doppler radar, and it's approaching the Mayland area. So if you know anybody out there, give them a call, give them a text, tag them in the comments on Facebook or anything. Just make sure they're aware and make sure they're seeking shelter until this passes. This also includes Pomona Road, Drowning Creek, the Plateau Community, Woody up towards Hillwood Estates, Elmore, and the south side of Monterey here, the southeast side of town. So pretty close to where the Purdue Farms plant and all that is. From there in south, that's going to be the zone. So you can see pretty definedly here where you got this red and green meeting here, and that's going to move in a general direction like that. So again, far northwestern Cumberland County, north of Pleasant Hill, and in extreme southeastern Putnam County, southeast of downtown Monterey. So you kind of see the trajectory of where that's going from there, basically from southwest to northeast. So here's some other all clears that I can give. If you're watching from Sparta, you're good. This is northeast of you. Bonaire, Yankeetown, you're all clear as well. And I'll even go ahead and give Dorosset and Ravenscroft all clears because this is moved out of White County. So White County, you're good. If you're in Cumberland County, it's mainly for the north side of Pleasant Hill up to Mayland and northeast to Rennie. Those are the only parts of Cumberland County that have to worry about this, at least as far as seeking shelter and all that's concerned. The rest of Cumberland County, you're good. So that's the situation there. So I'll put up a new storm track here. Let me make sure I get the motion of the storm motion right here real fast. And we'll put it on. And I'll give Mayland and some other areas here some estimated times of arrival. Again, Mayland, this will be in your area around 4:57, so just before 5. Drowning Creek around 5:03. And the community of Plateau around 5:06. So that's if this were to hold together. Those are the locations that it will be near within the next 5 to 15 minutes, roughly. So that's how far out that track went. And again, this will also impact areas near the Putnam and Cumberland County line, and also up towards the Highway 62 corridor. So again, no travel along Highway 62 as well between Monterey and Clark Range until this passes. So up until this warning expires or gets canceled or whatever, no travel in that area. No travel between Monterey and Crossville on I-40. So that's just some advisories here, kind of really a warning though. Highway 70 is good though, because this is north of 70. So if you need to travel between Sparta and Crossville, you're good. So Highway 70, you're good now. This is north of the highway, at least as far as Highway 70 south is concerned, yeah. This main route of Highway 70, you're good. But 70 north is not good up in here. So seek shelter up in there. But as far as Highway 70 between Sparta and Crossville, you're good down there. Pleasant Hill, you can come out of your shelters as well, since this is passing to your north. So I'll give you the all clear in Pleasant Hill. And as I said, White County's all clear as you see this warning update flash on the screen. So we'll give the all clear to White County now as that moves off to the north and east. Let's see here. Let me get that new update for you real fast. Again, it's taking just a second. Again, no damage reports, thankfully, or confirmation of one on the ground still, but at 4:50, a severe thunderstorm that's capable of producing a tornado was located near Monterey, actually south of there, or 13 miles northeast of Sparta, moving northeast at 35. It's radar indicated, and again, this will be near or south of Monterey by 4:55, but I do believe, based on this trajectory, it's probably going to miss most of Monterey. So that's the recent update on this. Again, not a major change, but the one change I can tell you is that White County was removed from this warning. So with that said, let me go ahead and pull reflectivity back on. Now Crossville, you're getting a heavy downpour here around Lake Tansey, but this is not part of that tornadic storm. This is totally separate, and velocities don't show any rotation here, so that's just a good downpour there in Crossville. Don't have anything to worry about. And as I zoom out locally, there's one severe storm north of Knoxville, but that's not going to affect us. The rest of the area, most of you that are likely watching this, you don't have anything going on. Nothing really to worry about this evening, nothing to worry about tonight. So if you're in Pikeville or Jasper, or Chattanooga, or Lafayette, Scottsboro, Fort Payne, Athens, Winchester, you're good. You don't have anything to worry about this evening. You can go out, have dinner, whatever you want to do, got outdoor activities or something, you will be good. It'll be a little damp, a little wet because of all the rain we've had, but as far as activities or anything you got planned this evening, you're good. That's a good thing. All this is passing well to your north. Again, the reason why I'm on here is because Cumberland County is a part of the area that I cover, and it's affecting these northwestern parts of that county. So once this moves out, then I'll be officially done, at least with tracking this, once it gets out of my main area here. But as far as the northwestern tip of Cumberland County is concerned, if you're in Mayland, up towards Rennie, and even as far east as Bowman, and also the Plateau community up there, make sure that you're remaining in shelter here. Again, this warning expires here in about 20 minutes, but I think it's going to probably be done just before that. So probably about another 10, maybe 15 minutes at most, and I think this will be done as far as Cumberland County and the eastern end of Putnam County is concerned. Again, for those that may be concerned about, that may have kids or family that are up at Tennessee Tech and Cookeville, this is well east of there. Nothing to worry about there. Now, I do want to note, because I lived up there for the past few years before moving back to the Jasper, Chattanooga area earlier this year, they do sound the sirens all throughout Putnam County, even if it's just a small sliver of the county in a tornado warning. So there's probably sirens going off up there, but I do want to point out that it's only for the extreme east end of the county as far as the danger zone's concerned. I mean, I'm talking east of downtown Monterey. So as far as Putnam's concerned, it's the far east extent of the county. Now there may be a similar system in Cumberland County. I don't know for sure on Crossville's end, but if the sirens are going off there or anything, this is not for you. The danger zone is going to be well to your north and west. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about that. So again, I know counties all have different ways of sounding their sirens and stuff, but I do want to point out that it's only the far eastern end of Putnam County and the far northwest end of Cumberland County that's getting any kind of tornadic activity at this point. And I'll check velocities here to make sure. We'll double check that. And again, as I said, not really impressive. In fact, it weakened just a little bit again. Could still recycle, but the good thing here is that it's still fairly weak, which is a great sign for everybody in these areas. So it's crossing 70 north now in the mainland area of Cumberland, but it's also going to get ready to cross I-40 here in a matter of minutes here. So if you know somebody again that's traveling I-40, they got to stop here for a few minutes. Give it about 10 minutes and it'll be over the interstate. It'll be past it. So again, I-40 here, there's an exit right here. That's a Plateau Road right there. So basically from there up to Monterey, no travel at this point. Just wait for this to pass. Give it about 10 minutes and it'll be passed. This other road right here to the east that's in line of this is the Jim Garrett Road. And up here to the north, this other road that's also in line is Dripping Springs Road. So those in those areas, again, make sure you're seeking shelter. Also, golf course involved in that, so as well as Malin Lake. These are the areas that are involved in this tornado warning, and this goes all the way up to basically the Overton and Fentress County lines there, and up towards Highway 62. And again, not quite the Clark Range, but it'll be up there pretty soon as well. Again, there's that latest scan, and again, this continues to look weak. This continues to look disorganized as this crosses I-40 and moves up pretty much towards the 62 corridor from there. As I said, this storm continues to fall apart and is weakening. So as I said, I think this warning is probably going to get canceled here, probably in a matter of minutes here, because this is just continuing to fall apart. So we got about 15 minutes technically. So, but for technical reasons here, I want to mention this warning has about 15 minutes left on it officially. Again, right now it's 4:57, so there's about 15 minutes left on this warning. It runs until 5:15 Central. So by that point, we should be able to all clear everybody here in northwestern Cumberland and also the eastern part of Putnam County as well once this passes. And again, real quick, from Lake Tansey up towards Crossville and eventually into a Fairfield Glade there along Genesis Road, that's just a heavy downpour in that area. Nothing more to that. I will double check wind to make sure that's not doing anything funky, and thankfully no, just a gusty, maybe a little gusty wind, but there's probably not any wind at all probably in that cell. And really the wind in this has really come down quite a bit as well. And I'll show another product here real quick. This is rotation track, and what you look for up in here is the gray indicates like very low shear, yellow is low, red is medium, and then the white is high. And thankfully, it's very low to low in here. So as you see, it's weakened there in the last little bit. It showed a little bit of yellow there earlier, north of Ravenscroft, but ever since it's come down in intensity quite a bit there. So some very good news. And again, the red box you see on this screen, just for a little color key here, this red box that you see is the tornado warning. Severe thunderstorm warnings are in orange, flash flood warnings are in green, tornado warnings are in red. So that's just something a quick note there. Again, there's the new update. This weakening thunderstorm, and I'll be honest, that's not even producing lightning. We can pretty much call it a downpour at this point, just a downpour at this point. A gusty downpour is crossing I-40 right now, and most of it's probably north of there at this point. Because you got to remember, radar does lag a little bit, so what you see here, you can almost kind of add a half mile to it, so most of this is pretty much north of 40 at this point. and moving up towards Highway 62 east of Monterey and west of Rennie there. So basically halfway between those two cities and towns. And that's moving off to the north and east. And let me see the speed there. It's moving northeast at about 35. And again, Pleasant Hill, y'all are good. And for Bowman, I'm going to give you the all clear. So if you're in Bowman, you're good there. You don't have to worry about this. Pleasant Hill, you're all clear. And I'm going to also give an all clear for the city of Monterey. This is east of you now. You're clear. So, and again, for the Mayland area on the north side of town, give it about 5 more minutes and you'll be good. So 5 more minutes. It's 5 o'clock, 5:05, you'll be good. Plateau, give it about 5 to 10 minutes. Give it till about around 5:10, unless the warning's canceled early, but give it till about 5:10 and you'll be good as well. So, and in Rennie, give it about till the end of the warning at 5:15. You'll be good after that. So, again, we still got about another 15 minutes technically on this warning, unless it gets canceled early. But I do like the precautionary measure of keeping it in effect, just to make sure it doesn't do another one of those recyclings and and all that. So, again, this is the only. I do want to point out again, this is the only heavy cell in the entire area. Everybody else, we're pretty much all dry right now as far as rain. I mean, some areas, I can show this even on satellite real quick. There's even some areas that have seen the sunshine peeking through. Now, technically, on a stormy day, that would not be a good thing, but considering that things are wrapping up and the air is so stable now because of all the rain we received, thankfully it's not factoring in as much, especially as we're getting closer to sunset now. So there's not as much time for any heating to take place, even with the sun trying to poke through clouds or just the cloud cover itself. So temperatures are not really allowed to warm all that much, because we're getting closer to sunset here. Sunset's here in about 2.5 hours, but once the sun gets lower on the horizon, those temperatures start to, cool a little. So thankfully there's not much time whatsoever really for things to reheat or anything. So that's good. But again, we still got this one warning here in about the next 10 to 13 minutes. That clips the northwestern end of Cumberland County, and once it moves out of there totally, then we'll be good to go from that point forward. So again, if you're in the Rennie area of Cumberland County, north of Crossville, make sure you are still sheltered here for about the next 5 to 10 minutes at least until this passes. And it's pretty much mostly in Putnam County now, the extreme eastern panhandle, we'll call it, of Putnam County. They're along 62 and south and west of the Clark Range area. And again, a good way to show this a little bit better is storm relative. And as I said, this continues to really look disorganized and nothing much left to it. I'll double check the correlation coefficient, which shows debris. This is what shows, but so far not showing anything. Now on this product here, if you were to see a debris ball or something, it would show a green blue circle that would be very well defined, but for most of the time be pretty well defined. So all the color you see here, the purple and red, all that just means it's regular raindrops. But if it shows, let's say, a well-defined circle of green or blue or somewhere in there, then that would indicate that there would be some debris being lofted and, of course, a tornado. But thankfully in this, as I look at this product, there's no signs whatsoever. There are not any signs whatsoever of anything on the ground, any debris has been lofted or anything like that. So even though it did ramp up for a few minutes, which prompted the warning down by Doyle in the 11170 South Split earlier, about an hour ago, there was no indications, at least at the time, of any debris or any damage or anything like that. Hadn't even heard of any funnel cloud reports or anything like that. So that's a good sign that hopefully everything stayed up at cloud level and it just rotated up there, and as opposed to being on the ground. So that's the most important thing. Make sure no one gets hurt or anything, and I believe we have succeeded on that part of things. So the good thing here is this thunderstorm here, what's left of it, we'll just say the remnants of it, is pretty much now moving out of the area now. So I can confidently say that Cumberland County is clear. So if you're in Rennie down towards Bowman and you were sheltered, as well as Mayland, you can come out now. Pleasant Hill, you're fine. Crossville, you're fine. Again, Mayland, Rennie, Bowman, Plateau, you're good. This is north of you now. This is across the county border. This is moving out. So you guys are good to go there. And as far as Monterey and the major cities of Putnam County, you are also good. This is well off to your east, and I'll check velocities again as the new update came in, and yeah, there's just nothing much left to it. So as that crosses Highway 62 and up into Overton County and Fentress County in Middle Tennessee as you get closer to the Kentucky line eventually. And again, also real quick, in case you might have anybody over towards Knoxville, over at UTK. There's a severe thunderstorm north of there around Maynardville heading up towards Tazewell and the Kentucky-Virginia line, but nothing tornadic in that at this point. And that will stay away from us. And this downpour here that just moved across the city of Crossville there, moving up Genesis Road into Fairfield Glade, that's non-severe either, and that's going to move out of the area here within a matter of about 10 minutes. So that's pretty much it. I'm leaving this a little early here because the worst of this has moved out of our immediate coverage area, and things are weakening and winding down, and this is safely weakened to a point to really where it's not even a severe storm anymore. It's really falling apart. So with that said here, guys, I am signing off here. Hopefully there won't be any additional need to do a live or anything this evening. I feel pretty confident though that the rain cooled air will help suppress things and keep things fairly calm through most of the evening and nighttime tonight. Remember though, we will have more rain and storm chances over the weekend and into next week, so just be aware of that. Again, I'll have an update on that here soon here before the night's done. So be on the lookout for that over the next couple of hours and all that. So with that said, I'm signing off here. Again, Cumberland County, White County, Putnam County, you're all clear. So you're good on that. So have a great evening, guys, and I will see you here in a little bit with another update on the weekend forecast.